One of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army, until I took a sword to the chest.
You girls think us all lawless beasts.
Hi, lady.
I'm proof of their
Would you like to buy
ignorance.
some flowers? Please? Not much, but I hope you like them. Thanks. Thanks for talking to. Hi there.
Staying safe, I hope.
Welcome to the House of Curiosities. I offer a brief tour for a few. If you've got some time, stop by my House of Curiosities. My sister and I inherited a modest sum of money. We decided to travel and seek out whatever adventures we could find. As we journeyed across Tamriel, we encountered tales of exotic and wondrous artifacts. We decided to collect as many as we could. My sister passed away some years ago, so I settled down here and opened the House of Curiosities. I think she would be happy to know that our collection has brought smiles to faces both young and old. Indeed I did. For a few septims, I'll tell you about some of the most interesting curiosities in my collection. Splendid! If you'll just follow me, I'll tell you tales and show you wonders such as you've never seen.
Go fiddling with any locks around here, we're going to have a real problem. South of here, and west of the road, lies Kronvanger Cave. Stay away from that cursed place and the vampires.
Well, Growhub the Kind. Is she, Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. And thank you. Thank you again.
Been a murder over in Riften. Some old lady who runs an orphanage. Those poor children must be heartbroken.
If you need potions, head over to Angeline's Aromatics.
Oh, let me just drop everything to help you. I don't mind, really. Take a look. Finally.
Caught a case of rock joint once. Porthala at the Hag's Cure fixed me right up. No lollygagging.
No fiddling with any locks around here. We're going to have a real trouble.
Next season, nephew. Next season for sure.
Next season. Sure. What? Uncle Calcelmo, I don't understand what you mean.
The excavation I canter. Right after I finish my book, we'll start excavating the Schuenzell again.
Could I maybe skip the excavation, Uncle Calcelmo?
Don't bother with Tacitus. Useless. Tacitus? Boy's an Imperial. I keep showing him how to treat the iron, but he never gets it. In the Legion, the Imperial smiths used to read books when they couldn't set their hammers straight. Wisdom of the old, I guess. If you find a book called The Last Scabbard of Akrish, could you bring it to me? Tacitus sure isn't learning by example. Thanks. Grew up in a stronghold. Every orc girl tended the forge at some point. But a girl has to grow up, and life in the stronghold asks for a lot in return. So I joined the Legion, mastered my trade there. That's right. An orc stronghold. Kept to ourselves, lived as our ancestors would have wanted. Wasn't enough for me, though. I left. Didn't want to end up as the third wife of some lowly chieftain.
Trouble?
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. You're missing out on someone. You're passing through solitude. Maybe you're looking to make some easy gold, yes? It's easy to find things to sell. Things nobody will miss. Things from underground, or just left lying around in someone's house. I bet the two of us were very alike. So why not take the next step? We can help each other. My sister Deeja and I are treasure hunters. We like to collect things. I knew you looked like a clever one. With the war, many more ships come through these docks, loaded with weapons and pay, but few people, and they pass through dangerous waters. We have an interest in one of those boats, the Ice Runner. The Solitude Lighthouse will be guiding it in, but if its fire were to go out, the Ice Runner would run aground. What an interesting idea. I think if someone were to do something like that, there would definitely be a certain amount of loot to be shared. Yes, if someone were to put out the lighthouse fire and then meet me on the docks afterwards, I could certainly direct them to that loot. Don't worry about them. We'll make sure they wash up safe. Maybe they'll even pay us for their heroic rescue from their sad crash. It would be best if we spoke little until you've completed your task.
Hey, wanna play tag?
Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you?
Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Gerard Germain has some tomes about them in the library, if you're interested. Not much, but as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torrig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I wish you luck in finding the verse.
I'm Dean of Lute at the Bard's College, and no, I don't give private lessons. It takes two things to be a good teacher. The first is patience. The second is a firm wooden stick for rapping knuckles. Only reason I'm so good with a lute is because I'm old. It takes a lifetime to master.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svafnir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Be careful. You might find more than just King Olaf's verse in Dead Man's Respite.
My voice is second only to hers, but she's selling me short.
Huh?
I have faith that you'll return with King Olaf's verse.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Yeah, got this note. Don't know. Creepy fella. Black robe. Couldn't see his face. Paid me a pretty sum to get that into your hands, though. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Hey, wanna play tag?
Everything all right?
If you need potions, head over to Angeline's Aromatics.
I'm telling
Are my
you,
men now giving
Ulfric's
free rein
planning
to
an
anyone
attack
who
on
wanders
Whiterun.
into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen? Have we? Oh, of course. You were at Helgen. One of the prisoners, if I recall correctly. Hadvar's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good soldier. But he hasn't reported in yet, so he can't exactly confirm your story. In the meantime, why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricka? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you. Not many survived Helgen. Besides, I'm sure your being imprisoned was all a terrible misunderstanding. He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General,
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir. You survived Helgen? General Tullius told me what happened. Not many made it out alive. I've got a good feeling about you, and I don't often get good feelings about anything. A warrior knows to trust her gut. I'm not going to go through the normal process with you. I've got a little test lined up. Pass that, and we'll talk about you joining the Legion. Is that confidence or bravado? Confidence I can use. Bravado gets soldiers killed. We'll soon find out. I'm sending you to clear out Fort Hrogstad. If you survive, you'll pass. If you die, then I'll have no further use for your corpse. The ancients built many of the fortresses that dot the landscape of Skyrim. Sadly, most have fallen into disrepair, and nearly all have been overrun with bandits or other vagabonds.